Whoops. Hello, everyone. RPG. Blanket over me. I'm cold. RPG Kingdom Kid here, back with some more Triangle Strategy, and this time it's the real one. Woo! Yeah. All right. Yeah, guys, we are back with Triangle Strategy. In the last videos, guys, we did the demos, but now we'll be able to do story bits. So I'm actually very much looking forward to that because I mean, this game's pretty fun. This game's fun as hell. And I'm having a blast playing it. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'm having fun with it too. As you see there, I could start with demo save data, which I'm not going to because I've already did all that stuff. Because what I did off screen, guys, is so here we are right there, but then we're also right down here as well. This was before. This was for our first pack, so I'm probably just gonna save these, the ones where we choose the opposite one. So we'll see, and that's stuff for myself to do or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how these. We'll see if there's like a quote-unquote new game plus kind of feature, kind of like how Fire Emblem has it in a way. Such, but yeah. So we finished chapter 3, part 2, and now we'll begin chapter 4. So let's begin. Yes. So I actually did those battles that were like at the tavern in our encampment, and you can redo them, so that's awesome. So I could do some grinding in there, which is what I plan to do when the time comes.
His diplomatic visit as Lord of the House complete, Serenoa returns to the Wolffort domain. Safely within Glenbrook, Roland and Huette retire to Whitehome in the Crown City. Alas, there is no time for rest in House Wolffort, as Serenoa soon finds himself swept up in preparations for his wedding to Frederica. Dragan, meanwhile, presides over the blasting of a new tunnel at the Grand Norzelian Mines.
Huzzah. A New Dawn, Chapter 4.
That should be the end of that bothersome bedrock. Investigate it at once.
What in the name of iron?
What is it? Do we require more explosives?
No, Lord Dragan. You best come see for yourself.
Ruh-roh.
What the? It couldn't be.
Is it dead bodies?
That settles the wedding program, then. We still must decide upon the wedding dress, however.
Not we, Benedict. Surely the lady herself must decide. What do you desire, Frederica?
Well... Hadn't you mentioned wanting to dress in the Rosellan custom for the ceremony?
Then you'd best ask the Roselle about that. There's a Rosellan village here in the domain. I'm sure they'd make you a dress, if you asked.
But what of the other nations in attendance? Surely Hyzant would not look kindly upon it. Lord Simon, is it true that you assisted the Roselle who fled Hyzant during the war, and that you then granted them asylum here?
Aye, that is how the Roselle came to live within our domain.
Ooh, this is a good psalm right here.
It was a source of great tension, but in the end, Lord Simon's perseverance prevailed, and a group of Roselle found new homes here. To this day, the Holy State demands they be returned to Hyzant, citing their goddess's teachings as justification.
The roots of the conflict run deep. Nevertheless, it is our duty to protect those who we have sworn to take under our wing. Should you choose to dress in the Rosellan custom, we shall stand behind you every step of the way.
Is that so? Then... I see not how I could refuse such a kindness.
I shall accompany you to the village. To tell the truth, I have never been there myself. It would be a good opportunity to get to know them, to strengthen our bonds.
That's
As is
true.
your duty, my son.
My son.
Rosellan custom it is, then. Let us depart at once to make the request.
Aye, all of us. Ooh, I can't wait to see what they come up with.
So yeah, I did a little bit of grinding. It's so hard to, I'm going to be flat out honest. It's hard to grind in this game. Like, it's very weird too in a way, so. Alright, anything else first? Okay, how the hell do I zoom out? Anything else? Not a thing, huh? Oh, there's the mine. Alright, nothing else, alright. Let us see what the hip happenings is then, shall we? Oh, yes we shall. Oh.
Greetings and welcome, Lord Serenoa and Lady Frederica.
Hello.
My name is Jerome.
Hey,
Bid you
Jerome.
welcome on behalf of the Roselle.
Hey, you have, well, if you have a name, you probably gonna end up having a portrait. Head of the Rosellan village on Wolford Domain. He is truly respected by his people.
And congratulations on your engagement, as well as assuming lordship of your house.
You have my gratitude. We hope you will.
He sounds like
continue
he
to
has
lend your
Claude's
support to
voice
House
actor
Wolford.
from
You have my
Three
word.
Houses.
I owe your lord father a great debt. Though, even were that not the case, you are engaged to one of our own in Lady Frederica. Few things could bring us more joy. We shall make the finest dress you have ever seen.
Or Dimitri. It's either Claude or Dimitri. I can't remember. It's either Claude or Dimitri. I think it's Claude, though. Yeah, Dimitri has a little more of a... How do I want to put it? I don't want to say harsh, but for lack of a better term, he kind of has like a more of a harsher tone. So...
On that subject, I have one humble request. I would like to incorporate this pendant into the design.
The pendant you're never without.
'Tis one of a kind, left to me by my late mother. She was one of the Rosellan refugees who fled Hyzant during the war and found her way to Esfrost. In a twist of fate, she fell in love with the former Archduke, and thus was I born. In secret, of course. After I was born, she was sent back to Hyzant, where she met her end.
I see why it never leaves you. Pray fashion the dress in this pendant's image.
It shall be done, my lord. Let us delay no further. Lady Frederica, please step inside, that we may take your measurements.
Thank you kindly.
The measurements may take some time, Lord Serenoa. Perhaps you'd care to take a stroll and see the village while you wait.
I'd very much like that. Thank you.
Perhaps I'll have a look around the village and get to know its people while they're taking her measurements. Lord Serenoa offered us his Lord Simon offered us his protection without a word about our origins or our troubled history. His generosity is boundless, and I fear we shall never repay it. Instead, I simply pray that our village remains protected. I bear great responsibility to these people. It falls on me to keep their land free from harm, no matter what the cost. Oh boy. That's going to come up during one of the selection things. Your hair certainly does not make you stand out, my lord. We don't get many visitors to our fair village. Oh, it does make you stand out.
We came to this land in the midst of the Sultan War. Desperate to escape Hyzant's extraordinary cruelty. Your father then granted us asylum in our hour of need, shielding us from further harm.
I would have done the same. We have a duty to help those in need. I pray the day soon comes when you no longer require protection and are free to live lives unfeathered. And I intend to honor that. Let us walk together and make this the land of prosperous. I don't want to say that first one. That sounds like, oh, that's like so. Like, granted, yeah, that's like, you know, it's a duty to help those in need and such. So it's like, that sounds a little condescending. The second one's not that bad, but it's like, oh, I hope you no longer need our protection so you can live it unfeathered. It's like, well, we'll always be protecting them. It's not like, oh, the Hyzants aren't after you anymore. Well, okay, you guys are on your own type thing. I think that's always going to be like, oh, yeah, well, I mean, we'll still protect you against, like, bandits and shit like that, but it's like, yeah. So instead of all of them, I'd say this one. I tend to honor that and let's work together. So yeah, those, me doing those fights in the encampment also increased my convictions as well somehow. But I don't think I honestly have no idea what like that means in the grand schemes of things. Maybe it's kind of like a whole like, oh, like you have strong convictions, so I'm gonna trust in your judgments type things when it comes to about the trying to persuade one person to go one side or another side during the scales segments or what is it called? Or maybe some of the options when we talk about them.
I cannot thank you enough for those kind words. May they be a beacon of hope for the generations to come. We will do all in our power to make it so.
Father granted the Roselle asylum on our lands. Though they once hailed from Hyzant, they are now as much as part of the Wolffort demise as anyone else. I pray today's hunt goes well. I'd love to fetch a fine pelt for House Wolffort. Oh, okay, just kind of that way, okay. Oh, excuse me. We play together almost every day. Today we're climbing the ladder to the roof and playing lookouts. We must be strong and vigilant if we are to maintain the peace we have enjoyed on these lands. I'll talk to you later. I want to see what's that sparkly thing. Though we may be under House Wolffort's protection, we dare not leave the village. The gods as faithful will haul us straight back to the source if they catch sight of us. There's a cat! Okay. I have that guy to talk to, that guy to talk to. Oh. Another HP recovery pellet. We've made our home here in the valley in the hopes we'd not be discovered. Use the lay of the land to our advantage, like. Oh, wow, I can, like. Wow, I never noticed it, but, like, looking out, like, that's the map. Like, that's just straight up the map, and this is, like, kind of like a 3D visual of it in a way. That's kind of cool. Somewhat. I don't mind it. I think it's a nice aesthetic to it. It'll just be a bit longer taking Lady Frederica's measurements. Please have a look around the village in the meanwhile. Did I talk to you? I think I did. Oh, yeah. It's no fun staying in the village all the time. I want to go play somewhere else. But Mother gets mad at me if I go too far. You'll be able to venture further afield when you're older, and when that day comes, I'll show you both around the demesnes myself. Ah, but there's plenty of fun to be had here. I'm sure your mother would be pleased if you took up hunting or fishing. It's because you're precious to her. You do well to heed her words. I'm not a big fan of this one in terms of like, it's like, oh, you'll do it when you're older, but it's like, but there are other people here that are older and they don't go out of the village and such and such. And granted, makes sense. Because, you know, being hunted and shit. I don't know about this one. Well, I guess people do go out to hunt and fish, so. Oh well. This one, man, I don't know. Be best to listen to your mother, kid. I don't know. Out of all of them, I'm just gonna pick that one. I don't want to be in this village forever. Don't despair, my child. You'll be able to leave the village soon enough, and your mother with you. If you say so, it would be nice to go on a trip with her once it's safe. Let's go to the encampment for a little bit. I want to check out if... I want to see if I got anything new. I don't think I have, but... The results of my research bring us all good fortune. Okay. Ah, there we go. So actually, the good news is, with you know, keep having to repeat those battles, is getting the merits or whatever these things are called. Scroll of Heaven, Scroll of Earth, Scroll of Man. Like, that's the good news. Is that you can easily grind those and, like, oh, you know, like, you get one for every backstab. I believe you get one with a follow-up attack. You get one if you do, summon certain skill a few times. You get one if you use Roland's, you know, hitting 2 people with his attacks, so... Nothing new. Okay, you kind of suck. Combat mages. Okay, so we got a new thing with iron. So the good news is I'll always get fiber every time I do this fight. So every time I do this fight, I'll always get iron. That's busted if I'm being honest with you. But who am I to be like, oh yeah, no. No, like go ahead. Let's have that be a busted mechanic. I'm all for it. Is there a way I can... There it is, roster. I was like, is there a way I can look at... So she's the only one at level 5 right now, so I'll probably... During grind session, I'll probably swap her out for someone who's not at level 5, so... It really sucks, because, like, in order to, like, you know, do your promoting to a class, you need to be at level 10. And it takes so fucking slow to level up your character. It's like, oh, you do this action and you get 4 experience out of 100. It's like, it's not that great if I'm being honest, but I don't know, maybe you get more experience as you do it. Alright, I believe we've talked to everyone. So, surely I'll finish taking her measurements by now. Meanwhile, in the place of bullshit.
Do you understand just how dangerous it is for a young prince to go gallivanting off on a whim?
Punish me if you will. But if I hadn't gone gallivanting, I never would have learned the state of things outside our own kingdom.
Oh? Well, if you are so interested in international affairs, then I have a fitting role for you to play. You will oversee the Grand Norzellian mines.
Father, it would be a privilege.
I fear that punishment would provoke no reflection, and so I would rather put your energies to work for the kingdom.
I shan't let you down, Father.
I am not blind to your feelings, my son. I understand that my methods vex you. Nevertheless, I ask that you stay out of harm's way, and give me no reason to worry.
Of course.
Mining is grueling, thankless work. Show the miners the appreciation they deserve.
I shall. You have my word.
The necessary provisions have been arranged, Your Highness. You are to deliver them to Dragan.
Father, may I bring rather, Lord Wolfort? It is his job to oversee the operation after all. And his closeness with Dragan may engender goodwill.
I know you trust him a great deal, Roland. But I would remind you that his betrothal now binds him to Esfrost. You would do well to be wary of any move he or his house might make.
So you share Franny's views on the matter. Nevertheless, Serenoa is a friend I could never hope to replace. A friend I trust no matter your opinion of him.
Concerning words, Your Highness, House Wolfort must be subject to the same scrutiny as any other.
Roland.
Bring these tidings to Gustadolf at once.
Oh, big word!
Is that everyone? Good. I have important news for all of you. What you see before you is to be seized by the Duchy of Esfrost. You shall not speak of this beyond those in present company. Any who do will be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
But, Lord Dragan, are not the resources we mine destined to be shared among nations?
This matter is not up for debate. A discovery of this magnitude could reshape all of Norzelia. And so I ask this of you. Stand with me, as I lead this great realm into a new era.
Okay. Are we all being played by this fucker?
You risk much giving us these orders. I shall do exactly as you say.
I thank you. I have already sent the Archduke a letter informing him of our find. When I am appointed Prime Minister, I promise to reward you all handsomely for delivering me such a boon.
You are to be Prime Minister?
Or Ambassador to Glenbrook, perhaps. Time will tell. Either way, with this I shall make my mark. And do what neither Father nor Gustadolf ever could.
What news from Dragan, dear brother?
I never dreamt our hypothesis would prove true.
So you take him at his word?
I have no choice. The spy I sent to shadow him corroborates his report.
And? What are his demands?
He wishes to be named Prime Minister in exchange for secreting it away to Esfrost. Negotiations with Glenbrook are in the offing, should I refuse.
So he means to threaten you?
He is stronger than I believed him to be. Certainly what he has uncovered is worth the price he asks. What would you do, were you me?
Keep the secret safe, naturally. Did you not send a spy for this very reason? Surely expected this would happen.
I did, and they have been issued emergency orders.
Then leave the rest to me. I shall depart at once.
How fortunate I am to have a brother who knows me so well. Ah, Dragan, you will rue the day you dared place Glenbrook beside me on the scales of your feeble judgment. I hand down the orders. Yield or be crushed beneath my heel.
Alrighty, definitely some bullshit happening, of course. Nothing else? Alrighty.
The dress measurements are finished at last. I applaud your patience.
Is it exactly as you hoped?
It is indeed. I can hardly wait to see it finished.
I am glad to hear it.
There you are.
Prince Roland. And you wet besides. What brings you here?
We were looking for you.
We inquired around Castle Wolfort and heard you all had come here.
Has something happened?
Father has asked me to keep watch over the mines. Won't you join me?
You scarcely need ask, of course.
A wise course of action, seeing as you will be overseeing the mining operations.
And we can present Dragan with the gifts we procured abroad.
A fine opportunity to get to know the man better. He is quite talented, is he not?
He is a man with grand visions for the future, that much is certain. I shall tell you more of him along the way.
Then let us waste not one moment more. To the mines!
I'll have the dress ready in time for the ceremony, my lord.
You have my thanks, Jerome.
Neat.
Serenoa and Frederica journey to the Rosellan village so she may be fitted for her wedding gown. The young lord gains an unexpected moment of quietude while he waits. However, Roland soon arrives with orders from King Regna to inspect the Grand Norzellian mines, where Dragan has made great progress.
Investigation. Really? It's so weird that there's been like no side contents happening here. Okay, I'm all for it. Let's keep going. Keep going for a little bit longer. Though if the next thing's a fight, I might end the part there. We'll see.
How will Gustadolf respond to my offer? I should think there's but one logical answer. Should he refuse for some reason, I will need Father's aid. I must apprise him of the situation.
Lord Dragan, Prince Roland is here from the Crown City.
What's this? Prince Roland and my friends of House Wolfort. To what do I owe the honor?
Apologies for the sudden nature of our visit, Dragan. I have come on Father's orders to offer our sincere gratitude, as well as to observe the mining operation.
Splendid! The miners will no doubt be heartened by your Highness's presence.
Does the mining continue apace?
Indeed it does. There are no problems to report. And what of your trip abroad, Lord Serenoa?
It was most enlightening indeed. We even brought something for you. I do hope it's to your liking.
A portrait of the goddess herself, drawn with... Is this dyed salt?
It is. I understand they are used as talismans in Hyzant.
This gift would fetch unfathomable value in the duchy. I cannot thank you enough.
It is enough to see you happy.
I am glad our deliberations were not in vain.
Dragan, I believe it was you who said the future is in the hands of the Ardent Youth. We are of like mind. Let us shape the future together.
Indeed. That future is close at hand. I suspect we will reach across the border and ask for your cooperation in due course.
And I shall gladly assent.
Yes, we eagerly await your offer. Now then, I was thinking I might examine the quarry.
Wait, Your Highness! One of the tunnels caved in but a few days ago. I would advise against entering just now.
Did you not assure us moments ago that the mining continues apace?
The miners are working to repair the damage as we speak. It is simply too soon to allow you inside.
Was it caused by a blast?
It was, in fact. We were perhaps a bit overzealous in attempting to remove some of the bedrock.
I had no idea your explosives were so powerful. How do you make them anyway?
I would love to tell you, Your Highness, but I'm afraid we must keep some of our secrets. What I can say is that salt is a vital ingredient.
Surely you jest.
I thought you'd be surprised. I could scarcely believe it myself at first. A gargantuan tome in the archives opened my eyes to the many uses for salt, beyond seasoning our daily dishes. And now I pass what I've learned to you, Lord Serenoa, as a token of my gratitude for your visit.
Oh, well then, okay.
The power of salt.
'Tis a compendium of my research on the uses of salt. I encourage you to peruse it at your leisure.
I most certainly shall. 'Tis a most valuable gift.
Fascinating indeed. I too would like to read it when you are through, my lord.
I look forward to hearing your impressions.
At any rate, I see the sun hangs low. Shall we save a tour of the mine for the morrow?
Yes, perhaps that would be best.
Yes, of course. I shall prepare entertainment and lodgings for your party at once.
Added the power of salts to notes. Okay, maybe that's something I might read up on. Mine's appear to operate in peace. Perhaps I'll survey the operation more closely until my bedding is ready. I've come to deliver lunch to my husband and his fellow miners. They eat like horses, and yet I still manage to make too much. As Frost is hard at work building a rail car that will transport the ore we take from the mines. Can you imagine how much more efficient that will make the process? Oh, how's my theme? I never expected Prince Alolan and Lord House Wolford himself would grace us with their presence. It's truly an honor. I thank you for making the journey. Oh, I was just talking to that dude? It glads me to see a healthy contingent of miners from the Duchy alongside your brethren from Glenbrook. I was right to come with you. Do you believe we've succeeded in lowering Dragon's guard? We'll be sending the iron we mine here to the consortium. They'll want to account for it all, as they do with the salt and all else. The mine here is under the jurisdiction of Claris. Never met a thing he couldn't sell that one. Lord Dragon's father, Minister Svarg, is a capable man as the Archduke himself. By all rights, he should be the nation's prime minister, and yet he's performing glorified border duty in the middle of nowhere. Can't imagine he's happy about it. Skrov, that's Frederica's uncle. Mr. Skrov is indeed as capable as the miner would have me believe. How did he end up steward of Twinsgate? Ah, maybe that's someone like we can have be like, hey, you can be a buddy of ours. Must have been a hard journey to get here. The roads to the mine aren't exactly well worn. Watch your step as you return home, my lord. Despite the explosives collapsing in one of the tunnels, mine appears to be on schedule. Running a mine, let alone one owned by 3 nations, is no easy task. The lack of unrest is a credit to Lord Dragon's leadership. To that end, indulge me with a hypothetical. Suppose you lead this operation and in Zendikar, how would you respond? Seeing as his joint accord, I would resolve the matter peaceably with Aspharos and Aspharos involvement. Adhere to the problems firsthand from the miners themselves. Issuing orders blindly from above leads to chaos. Order an investigation of the cause and find the party or parties responsible. Must be no cause for bad blood between our nations. Ah, boy. This is a tough one. I guess I want to say I want to say this one because it's like it's a joint accord, so you'd probably want to be like, hey, something came up, and you'd want to let the other people know and how to solve it the best way possible with the other people involved. This one seems like I take it more. I take all the responsibility and quote unquote blame on my own, but I don't know about that. And this one I'm kind of like in the same boat in a way with the middle one, and that's like, oh, well, this one I got, or this feels more like I'm doing it more so myself. So I guess I pick this one. Again, don't really know how much it matters, but indeed we cannot be the only ones to bear the brunt of any troubles, but the crown and other nations will seek to share their burdens too. There is merit in these hypotheticals, Serenoa, and ensure we are prepared when we find ourselves in times of crises. And allow us to get ahead of any problems that may harm the venture. I should consult my father about this as well. I think I've talked to everyone over here, yeah. I understand a few fights broke out between the miners of Aspharos and Glenbrook at first, but such is bound to happen when two nations come together. Thankfully, they've learned to communicate, and now everything is progressing apace. Mining schedule, okay. The future is what we make of it, Lord Serenoa. May the partnership with your house prove long and fruitful. As I see it, the miners are merely the beginning. We have much work to do, and I pray I can count on your assistance going forward. I got a stone. I got a rock. I've been teaching the others what I gleaned from all the reading that I did in the archives. Well mastered the Aspharos techniques, my lord. There's no shortage of practice down in the mines. We're paid for the iron we mined, so I had better break off a big chunk of ore, or better yet find a rich vein. I literally just stole someone's lunch money. It's hard labor mining. I'll tell you, I don't see a man here I wouldn't want for my own army, if it came to it. The mine itself is larger than I imagined. I believe my hawk could fly clearly through its tunnels. Yeah, guess what? We're gonna need that. Vanguard Scarf. Only miners past this point, sir. We're clearing rubble from a collapsed tunnel. The rest of it may be unstable as a result. We cannot risk letting anyone through. Power of salt. Salt is foodstuff necessary for human survival, but that isn't all it is. It's myriad applications beyond the kitchen and contains within the power to change our world as we know it. In this book, I, Dragan Aspharos, have recorded the results of many research in the Grand Duchy's archives. The culmination of everything I learned poring over ancient texts from all across Norzelia. For example, salting food is an excellent method of preservation, but doing so on a large scale is unattainable due to the mineral's costly nature. If we can preserve large stores of food, it would be easier for people to travel over long distances or help us trade goods and supplies in even greater quantities. It could even become possible to explore the hitherto unplundered depths of the Hyzant Desert or to sail beyond the Great Falls to the south. Even more indispensable are salt's medical benefits. My predecessors used what limited salt they had to conduct various experiments. Though salt scarcely makes it's nigh impossible to put their finds into actual practice, they have shown that salt can be applied to great effect in developing medicine, producing materials such as leather or glass and animal husbandry. The research even suggests salt can be made into a volatile blasting agent. I expect even further possibilities will be discovered as the research progresses, though whether research can progress remains to be seen. With the source under Hyzant's tight fist control, but we must abandon hope for a better Nozelia as salt could help us realize. But we must not. Someone must clear the way forward, else this new era of prosperity will die before it ever born. What I'm attempting to create will be vital to the efforts. The potential of salt is the potential of Nozelia's future, and that of all of us who dwell within the Great Realm. I dedicate this book to all those who, like me, are striving for a new era. May it help guide us to a brighter future. Okay, I want to look at those marvels later. Cavalry and Hawk Riders are known for their superior mobility. This grants them the ability to move freely across the battlefield through venturing too far from their allies, leaves them without support and puts them at risk of a concentrated attack. They should therefore stay close to the main force and utilize their mobility to either flank or get behind enemies to draw near. While acting alone can be dangerous, a team of 3 or more cavalry units or Hawk Riders can provide quite advantage in battle. They can provide much needed support to each other and achieve intercept enemy troops or assault soldiers lurking in distance. Doing so would separate them from allies when healing magic, so taking recovery pellets would be a must. Although cavalry units and Hawk Riders are challenged to handle, but their real strengths lie in their numbers. So what is the best way to make use of exceptional mobility? Question gives insights into commander's true worth. One must be swift but never hasty. Speed can be your greatest asset or your greatest enemy. Okay. Archers. Okay, so this basically kind of gives you like a key to some of the things. X day of X month, X year, geological survey complete. High likely good quality iron ore is present, though buried under deep, hard bedrock mine, it should be possible explosives. Start to trial dig. Trial dig will expose successful discover vein of iron ore. Start to manifest construction. Start of iron ore extraction. Grand Nozelia Mines ceremonials commemorational ceremony. Encountered bedrock harder than anticipated. Use explosives to blast our way through. Have you ever heard the rumor of a moving cask? It's said that a mysterious apparition has been seen wandering around Hyzant lately. According to one theory, the lingering hatred of someone who drowned their sorrows in wine gathered within the cask and caused it to move gained the name the Cursed Cask. They say that the lonely apparition beckons others to the same fate, calling out those words. Welcome and welcome and welcome and welcome. Okay, that's kind of information about stuff. Okay. Let's see if anything new happened in the encampment. I'm going to assume not, but you never know. Alright. Back to it. Alright, that's it. Let's end the exploration. Everything appears in order, as I expected. Perhaps my bedding is ready by now. Yo, bedding of death! Because that's the Frost people are going to be coming here shortly to be like, hey, fucker. Yep. Knew it. Fucking knew it. Alright. Anything else happening first? Does not seem to be that way. Okay. But guys, that's going to do it for this part of Let's Play Triangle Strategy. In the next part, guys, we shall do battle with that at the Grand Nozelian Mines, because that's going to be fun. Yeah, the battles are always really long, and then, of course, we'll probably see all the story bits afterwards, and that'll probably be the end of the chapter. That's my guess. That's all it seems like. That each chapter has, like, at least one exploration and one battle. I don't know if that'd be more than one battle, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Guys, if you liked the video, please give a like button a click and comment down below, check about the video, didn't like about the video, and let me know, guys, what you think of learning that Dragon was kind of in secret, and then there was a spy to make sure that he was kind of like doing what he was supposed to be doing with the Aesfrost. I mean, of course, we knew that Aesfrost was going to be fucking, you know, bonkers and all that shit, but curious all the same. So, yeah, let me know. As always, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. And subscribe to the main channel, too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both of my main Twitter, RPG, KimKit Twitter, are in there, too. Thank you all so much for watching once again. And I'll see you all next time.